shift we rise, 1,000 dreams beneath new skies. The cards still fall, the chips still spin, but the future calls. We won't give in. No fear of night, no weight of past. This game was built to make it last. The Syndicate's horizon, it's the dawn we chase. Every trial has its place, through shadows long, through fire and stone. The path ahead becomes our road. Oh yeah, becomes our road.
Well, it's that time again, folks. It's time for another final table. The second one in just a little less than 24 hours. It's the Horizon final table. 8 weeks, 8 games. Everybody qualified. Here's your top 7. And actually, we are top 7 minus 1. One player has not made the game on time. But we're here. It is the Syndicate Poker Club playing free-to-play poker at PokerNow.club, a free-to-play poker site, a free-to-play poker client. All free roll poker being played for real, but being played for free, but also being played for real by the Syndicate Poker Club. Yeah, I totally botched that opening again, didn't I? Anyway, we are here at the final table with the top 6 players that have made it to the final table here tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon, however you may look at it. We have shuffled up and dealt. We have one table of action. Why? Because there's only one table, the final table. We'll tell you how it all came down to be and how it all will go to be, as we will get Poker Cat in here to explain a little bit of everything for you, just as we did the other night. We've already had 3 final tables with the Syndicate Poker Club this fall season already. This will be number 4. Number 5 will be coming up on Friday. And then number 6 will be coming on Sunday. So it's a busy, busy finals week for the Syndicate, as things get into the action on this first hand. Everybody folding out. Freakchild showing snowmen tripping up on the flop. With the opening blinds at 5,100. Ika on the button on this second hand. With 4 King Ace hole, Vixen, Millie, Jam Rock and Roll, Freakchild. Biggie Large Fool was supposed to be here as well. Did not make the check-in. But Biggie Large did qualify for the final table, just not able to make the final table tonight, apparently. Lots of diamonds on this second board. The word flop keeps wanting to fly out of my mouth. Apparently I'm all about F's tonight, so if I throw the F-bombs, don't be surprised. I'm on an F-word fiasco. See, there's another one that's an F-word. Fiasco. Fortitude. Oh, look, a 4 and a 2. Fortitude. 4-2 diamonds, 6 of spades, and an ace of hearts comes out with Vixen, Millie, and Jam Rock and Roll going at it on this hand. I gotta be careful when I start saying that. Going at it. Apparently, 4 King Ace hole does not have his microphone turned on. Or his speakers turned on. I don't know what's going on. Saying that there's no commentary. We're showing audio is being sent out. It's in our master. $5,100 to go. Millie will limp in. Jam rock and roll on the option. We'll check it with an ace jack of spades, a three of diamonds. $100 to go, says Jam rock and roll. Millie will play. Another spade comes out. It's a 10. 100 from each player. A 6 of hearts on the river. And Jam rock and roll will take that with two pair of aces and jacks. Button almost making its first full circle around the table. Perhaps the mic is just not high enough. Maybe that's what the problem is. Or people do not have their hearing aids in. I'm not sure what's going on. We'll kick it up till we start bouncing red, and then after that, then you guys will probably complain that I'm too loud. Who knows what's going to happen? 6, 10, 9 on the flop. 6, 9 of spades. A 10 of clubs. Jam rock and roll checks it to Freakchild, checking it over to Ika. Ika sending it to Forking Acel, who says no freebies after this. 500 to go to Jammer. And that will get everybody to fold out. Button almost on its, well, it's on its last stop here before calling it one orbit. Not to be confused with the movie Norbit. This is a weird fucking movie. 7 of hearts comes out, checking it all the way down to the river with an ace coming out to bookend it. Freakchild with just a pair of 9s there. 2 pair, though, with the aces on the board. But that will work. And we have one full orbit. As blinds are at 5,100. Poker Cat, come tell us exactly how this game works. After you have a seat, you fat ass. The Horizon final table. Everybody's going to be starting with 10,000 in chips. Free chips. Invisible chips. Do they exist? Nobody knows. But everybody starts with 10,000 in chips. The blinds start at 5,100, and they increase every 10 minutes. Also known as a 100 deep stack tournament game, because there are 100 big blinds in 10,000 chips starting at 5,100. The basic play of Texas Hold'em. Every player is dealt 2 hole cards, and there's a round of betting known as pre-flop betting. Then a flop comes down of 3 cards, all community cards that all players can use. A round of betting, then the turn card comes down, another round of betting, and a river card comes down. That's the 5th card that everybody can use. 5 cards on that community board that everybody can use to make the best 5-card hand, and of course the best 5-card hand wins. And as we did not get to stream today, the Syndicate Poker Club in the final game of the Accord Series this morning, all the players sucked. The board beat all 6 players at the table. It was terrible. It was sad. Everybody cried. Then they lit a cigarette and then went on to the next hand. So, Millie on the action here with the 6-10 king. Everything is hearted up here. Freakchild checks it over to Ika, who goes 100. Everybody playing along on this one. A 2 of diamonds comes out. Freakchild betting the pot here. 650 to go. Over to Ika, who will fold it out. Millie will fold it out as well. Freakchild, being the gentleman that he is, showed his card, showed his queen of heart flush. Blinds will be going up to 75, 150 in just over 2 minutes. The blinds go up every 10 minutes. These are forced bets to the left of the dealer. The small blind on the immediate left. Far left is the big blind in those particular amounts. 2 4s on the board here. Little bet from Jam Rock and Roll gets Millie to fold. Jam Rock and Freak Child going nowhere with that. Freak Child showing a Queen 8 offsuit. Nobody wanted to play with that. That was a humongous hand. Look out! Ika checking her option. 8, Queen, 7. It is rainbowed up here. 8 clubs, Queen of Spades, 7 of diamonds. 250 to go, says Ika Kika. And Freak Child will fold that out. Ika flopping the 2 pair of queens and 8s. Making quick work of that right away. Ika Kika limping in for the extra. Jamrock, or sorry, Freak. God bless. Who the hell? Whoever the other guy is in the fucking hand. He checked his option. By the time I got caught up, we were done with the hand. There you go. Pocket 4s. Bookended Jackson 4s. A double flat tire. You need to get an alignment done on that sucker. By the way, somebody check with Forking Acehole, who I can't remember his name for whatever fucking reason. Check and see if he's got his hearing aids in. Because if you all can hear me, apparently he can't. Last I saw. 778. Queen of Hearts comes out. 100 still to go. Minimal bets going out here. Everybody playing along. 3 of clubs comes out. And 2 pair, the Cowboys will hold up. Jam Rock and Roll taking that one down for a little bit of extra chippage in the stack. Eight, 3, 6 comes out. It is rainbowed up. A Jack of Clubs comes out. And Forking Acehole will take that one. Everybody limping in currently. Ika will get out of the way. Millie will limp in for the extra 75. Jam Rock and Roll on the option. 8, 10, 7 comes out. 8, 7 of spades. 10 of clubs. Everybody checking it down so far. Free Child says no. Going 600 on this. Forking Acehole gets out of the way. Jam Rock and Roll. Last man standing. Will fold it out. Free Child showing the pocket rockets. And earns a few more chips on that hand. And I did just verify the audio for those of you out there watching and listening. We do have audio. So I pulled up the secondary feed so we can keep an eye on the chat for you guys too as well. Which explains the delay and why I'm not calling the God-blessed game. Come on, Voice of Mystery, what the hell is your problem? I have 1,000 things to do, okay? And then I've got to cook dinner for myself. It's called being a grown-up. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kids. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. It's a 4 hearts that comes out that really hearts up this board. Heart heavy. 150 from 4 King Ace, a little bit more from Jammer, called Flush Ace High and the King Eye from 4 King Ace hole. The flushes were there, just one card beating the other one. A lot like the Syndicate Poker Club back lobby. Poker Cat and Professor Chips going at it. It was not pretty. 8 Jack 7 rainbowed up here. Everybody's sticking with it so far. Ika goes 150. Freakchild being the one to get out of there. Ika Kika checks it this time around. Apparently the goal was to get Freakchild out of there. As everybody checked it once he folded. Pair of jacks only from Ika. Jack from 4 King Ace hole shown, but apparently might have had the shitty kicker. Vixen on the option checks it out with a 6-9-10 on the board. 7 of spades comes out for a full rainbow. And Millie will take some more chips onto that little stack there. Jamrock, Freakchild getting out of there. Ika goes. Vixen limps in for the extra 75. Millie will check the option. King 4 of hearts, Queen of spades. Now a 10 of spades comes as they check it down. Millie says no more. Free river is not going to happen here. Vixen checking it over. Millie says you got to pay to show it down. And the showdown does not happen. With the 8 of clubs on the river there. Millie sticking with it. And getting Vixen out of the hand. Ace, 3 of hearts. 8 of diamonds comes out on this flop. Jam, rock, and roll. Says 600 to go. Bets the pot. And nobody's going to trust that that's a good thing to do. As everybody folds out of that one. Blind still at 75, 150 for now. Jam, rock, and roll. Looking to limp in or fold. He folds it out. Freakchild getting a free extra 75 chips out of the blind on that one. Not having to do any work. 431 to go from the 4 King Ace hole. And nobody wants to play with that raise pre-flop. Everybody is playing quite conservatively at the Syndicate's Horizon final table. After 8 games of qualifying, 8 weeks of qualifying, we should say also. This is your final 6 that made it to the table tonight. We had 7. And we will tell you all about that here real quick. The Horizon had 7 qualifiers for the final table tonight. Your top 10 for the entire series was 4 King Ace hole, Ika Kika, Jam, Rock and Roll, Millie, Biggie Large, Vixen, and Freakchild just barely snuck in there. Casely barely squeezed out of the top 10 to make, or the top 7 to make the final table. Neon 10 and Lavanook rounding out that top 10 did not make the final table. But during the 8 weeks of qualifying, the Syndicate players were playing games of starting 5,000 in chips, and blinds were starting at 1020. And then they would always go up from there. But they did that for 8 weeks at 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern to battle it out to finally make it here to this final table on week 9 of the Syndicate's Horizon Series, a free-to-play poker game played at PokerNow.club, a free-to-play poker site. No money is ever involved. Two pair will take that one down with the jack kicker. Two pair on the board, queens over sixes. Ika with the jack kicker. So still no need to have the chop pot graphic come up. Nothing's gotten spicy yet either. Everybody kind of sitting about even with where they started at right now. Ace-6 of clubs comes out. King of hearts. Millie going $1.50 to jammer. Ika will play along. The ladies are going to battle this one out. 5 upside down hearts with a stick. And another upside down black heart with a stick. Numbered 2. And Ika will take that one down with the pair of kings. Millie with the pocket tens did not hold or catch anything extra on that one. So that's where we are at. Currently, that's where about our chip leads are sitting. Nothing really too exciting on the leaderboard. These leaderboards are always a lot more fun when we have many players. Final tables, you can kind of keep up with the action with just 7 players sitting there. But this breaks it down for you a little bit better visually, because we're told that's what it does. We have no scientific proof, and we did not read it on the internet, so it cannot be true. $150 to go here to jam rock and roll. Still on the blinds. They will be going up here to 100, 200 after this hand. 8, 9, 10 comes out. It is rainbow. The diamond, a heart, and a club. Another heart comes out. It's a 4. 150, Ika says. And no freebie cards here with an ace-jack suited over there with Millie. A crappy flop to get that one started off. Saw a lot of that this morning, too. Everybody had great cards, but the flops were just not cooperating whatsoever for anybody. Jam rock and roll going up an extra 2. Cannot get anybody to play along with that. Ika Kika coming along for the ride. 800 to go, says 4 King Ace Hole. Man, I'm getting the 2 of them all sorts of mixed up. Pocket Queens for 4 King Ace Hole on that big bet. Getting that one done and over with. Freak Child pops into this hand. Millie will check the option. Both players check. 3, 10 of clubs, queen of clubs, 5 of diamonds. Both players checking it out with a 3 of spades coming on the river, bookending it all. Freak Child betting 500 on the pot. Showing just a jack of clubs to go along with that. $200 from Ika to call. Millie, 100 to go. Jam rock and roll on the option. Ace 8 deuce comes out. Ace deuce of diamonds. 8 of spades. Jamrock will go up 400, so it's 400 to Ika, 200 more to Millie. 7 of clubs is what they paid for. Both players check it for a free 9 on the river. Checked out by Millie and Jammer on the showdown. And a pair of aces with the big slick suited this time for Millie. Does pay off. Blinds at 100, 200. Millie on the button. Jam, rock, and roll for the limp in on the small blind here, or more, or less. Who knows? Does not play. Freakchild checks the option. Jack 9, 3, all spaded up. 200 to go, says Vixen. Freakchild playing along. King of Hearts comes out on the turn. Freakchild checking it over to Vixen, going an aggressive 450. And a 7 of spades comes on the river. Freakchild going on the aggressive at 900. And the king high flush, actually, for Vixen, catching that nice little hand there. $200 to go for Jam, Rock, and Roll. Freakchild will fold out. 9 deuce of spades, 5 of clubs. Jam, Rock, and Roll will check it as well. 4 of spades comes out. Another spade heavy board coming. Eka 200. Vixen is out. Millie, no thanks. Jam, Rock, and Roll, the last holdout here. Jam, Rock, and Roll will fold out. Ika Kika taking a few extra chips back into her stack. So there we are. This is where we're at so far. Everybody kind of taking it easy. And nobody's getting crazy on this game tonight. So I will be back on the mic here momentarily. Enjoy this one. This is one of my favorite songs to play. It's called Big City from A Certain Urgency. Back in the day. If you don't live in a big city, this will tell you the story of what it's like to live in the big city. Well, Ika Kika taking that hand down. Nice little full boat we saw there a little bit ago. On some unsuspecting low cards. Big blind special. We're back on the Syndicate Horizon final table. The 9th game of the series. The 9th and final game. Your 7 qualifiers qualifying for this table. Only 6 are making it tonight. Biggie Large made the final table, but was not able to make it to the game tonight. Blinds have gone up to 200, 400. As we see a 6, 5 of spades, 6 of diamonds. The board is paired. Checking it down for a 10 of clubs. And a queen of hearts comes out on the river. All for free. Just like the poker that we are playing here at the Syndicate Poker Club on PokerNow.club. All free. Free poker. Do it once, do it twice. Say it 3 times. SyndicatePokerClub.com. Check out all the player profiles, series that are running and actually all wrapping up right now as they get ready to go into the final tournament of the season. Which I just realized we don't have the graphic for that. We'll get to that. Jam Rock and Roll will fold out. Freak Child checking the option. 7-5, ace of diamonds. 400 to go from Ika. Freak Child getting out of there. Ika giving no secrets away by not showing her hand, mucking it away. Says to hell with you guys, I ain't showing you shit. Six king of spades, two of clubs. Spulk. I'm trying to say it backwards. Clubs backwards. It just doesn't compute to my brain. 1,600 to go. Big betting here from Forking Acehole. Bet your ass. This one's getting spicy. Check down. Vixen with the Jack King. Out kicking Forking Acehole on that one. Jam Rock and Roll in the action here. Everybody going along, limping in. And Vixen on the option checks it. 2-2 Jack. Rainbowed out. A 2 of hearts. A 2 of spades. A Jack of diamonds. Jam Rock and Roll folding out. And nobody wanting to play with Millie's 400 chip bet with a Jack Ace 2 pair. Is what she would have been showing down. But she's not going to let you pay. She ain't going to give you 2 cards for free. Everybody folding out here. Vixen on the limp in for 200. Millie on the option. Jack 6-3, we're rainbowed up. Now a pair of 6s on the board, complete rainbow with another club. Or sorry, a club. And now another club of a Jack comes. And that'll be 2 pair Jacks and 6s with a queen kicker that Vixen holds in her hand. Holding that one down. We did finally get to have an actual true Man, you cannot say that fast. True chop pot. There earlier with Forking Ace-Hole and Jamrock on an all-in situation that ended up getting chopped right away. Pocket eights, a snowman, 2 pair. 10s over 8s with an ace kicker for Vixen there. Forking Ace-Hole, who had folded out, would have had the trips on the 10s. 9 Jack Jack. We are rainbowed up. Starting to feel like a Leprechaun movie. Ika Kika to call 800 here. With a Jack 5-4 on the board. 2 jacks to pair the board. 4-5. A lot of hearts out there. Millie folds out. Jam Rock and Roll folds out. Freak Child's out of there. And it's Ika versus Forking Ace-Hole with a King 10 or Queen 10 of diamonds, a King of clubs. 6 spades comes. 400 from Forking Ace-Hole. With pocket aces. Betting them slow this time around. Obviously a wild card player we have sitting there. Plays them hard one time and then plays them soft the next. 400 to go for everybody. 200 now to Ika, who will limp in and see it. Forking Ace-Hole checks the option. Jack 10 King again. Giving us some royalty on the board there. Vixen, no show to go. Everybody calling in so far. Vixen checks the option. Queen, Queen 5, rainbowed up again. Jam Rock and Roll says 400 to go. Freak Child's out of there. Vixen's out. Millie goes away as well. As the players are playing it tight on Horizon Final Table tonight. A little bit different vibe than we saw during the Syndicate's Dominion game, where we saw Quadzilla go out real quick within the first 2 blind levels. Pair of 10s on the board. Now we got 2 pair of 10s over 8s on the board. Both players check. Vixen having the king kicker. Millie only having a deuce 5. Not much doing there. All in hopes of the high card. Millie limps in for the extra 200. Jam Rock and Roll. We'll check it down. 7-5 Jack comes out. Now we got another diamond. Queen 7 of diamonds. Jack of clubs. 5 of hearts. Millie checks it over to Jam Rock and Roll, who checks it for free. 7 of spades on the river of tears. And Millie gets the kicker situation this time around with just a pair of 7s. Nobody wants to play with Freak Child. Every time he's in the big blind, everybody folds out. Forking Ace-Hole says, we're going to play some poker now. 1,400 to go over to Jammer. Have not seen a lot of big pre-flop bets here. Freak Child calls in and we'll play along. Freak Child goes 1,600. Forking Ace-Hole going all in. With an 8-5 of spades, a king of hearts, pocket aces, pocket 8s, tripped up 8s, and quadrupled 8s for 4 of a kind. So Freak Child will take that one down on the turn completely. And Forking Acehole will go out in 6th place of the Horizon final table after a well-fought battle throughout the entire series. As we will remind everybody real quick, the leaderboard as it came down to the final qualifiers, Forking Acehole, whoops, we did not mean to make that go away. Forking Acehole actually ended up in 1st in the qualifiers. Ika Kika was 2nd. Jam Rock and Roll was 3rd. Millie was 4th. Biggie Large 5th. Vixen 6th. Freak Child coming in the 7th seed of this final game. But that's how the qualifying rounds, 8 weeks, turned out. So Forking Acehole, not someone to shake a stick at, because he will grab it from you and beat you over the head with it. I've heard this from first-hand accounts. And news stories. All from Los Angeles. 3-6 ace comes out. 3 ace of diamonds. 6 of clubs. Free Child betting big at 1,500. Jam Rock and Roll will call that. A deuce of clubs comes out. 600 to go, says Jammer. Freak Child calls it. 7 of hearts, whatever the hell that is. 600 to go. Freak Child raises it way over the top of the 600, going 7,500. Jam Rock and Roll will fold it out. Freak Child showing Ace King suited of clubs for the pair of aces. $300 to go for Jammer here. Once again, Freak Child on the big blind. Nobody plays with him. I think these players may know something that nobody else knows. Ika Kika with the Pocket Cowboys. Can't get any action on those. Everybody playing very conservative tonight. And if we lose another fucking connection problem with PokerNow, I'm going to scream. We were having issues. We were supposed to be on the air this morning, but there was a huge, I guess, international Cloudflare problem. And we were at least able to get the game played, but we were having trouble getting the broadcast up on the air. 2-5 Queen on the board here. Queens pair up. Millie in the action here. Both players checking for a third queen to trip up the board. Trip queens on the board. And both players checking it out. 3-of-a-kind queens. It's a Jack-9 kicker over a 7-10 kicker, because that 2 and 5 weren't playing either. So both players had better than the board other than the 3-of-a-kind. Just did not pan out for Millie. Just not quite high enough. Which, for people who smoke weed, that could be a problem. I don't know what that means. Blinds are now up at 300, 600. Have been for a hot minute, though. Freak Child in the option. We'll check it down. 9 deuce ace of 8 of spades. 600 to go from Vixen. Freak Child will fold that one out. Jam Rock and Roll in the action here. Will not play along. Freak Child limps in. Ika Kika will check the option. King 8-5. Once again, a complete rainbow. Gonna have to get some Lucky Charms graphics going for these flops. Pair of kings from Vixen on the flop there. $600 is checked by Vixen on the option. King of spades, 9 of clubs, 2 of clubs, 4 of diamonds. Now a 3 of spades. Ika and Vixen checking it all the way down with just a high card, Jack 5. So Ika will get a few more chips to survive around with some blinds. Actually, just got some Vixen's blinds on that. An extra 600 chips for Ika. Syndicate Poker Club playing at PokerNow.club. You can check out the Syndicate at SyndicatePokerClub.com. Player profiles, series games, leaderboards, all available there. Read a little bit of your backstory of the Syndicate as well as check out the player profiles. Find out a little bit more about these weird icons you see on the screen. Jack of diamonds, a 7 of clubs, and an ace of spades to come out on this flop. Jam Rock and Roll has the action at 4,200 betting the pot. Ika going over the top all in, 77. Jam Rock and Roll having to think about this one. Taking some time. And he will take the all-in and has very little chance with pocket jacks holding up completely. And Jam Rock and Roll will exit out with the pair of aces with the big slick he was holding. But the jacks still apparently only have a semi curse going on because they did hold up this time. They weren't holding up this morning, but they held up tonight. Ika Kika getting the trips and knocking out Jam Rock and Roll to give her a big bankroll there of almost doubling up from start. Five of spades comes out on the turn on this. Freakchild Millie going to battle on this one. Millie betting the minimum. 9 of spades comes out to pair up the board. Freakchild checks it over to Millie. Millie says no freebies here for a showdown. Freakchild will check it. King Queen. And Freakchild showing that he had the King 4. Got out kicked on that with the Queen that Millie held. Best 5 cards win in No Limit Hold'em Poker. You don't even have to have them all in your hand. They can all be on the board. As we found out this morning of the Accord final game this morning, when the board ended up playing over all 6 players and flushing out. 8 Jack of spades, 10 of clubs, 5 of clubs, 600 to go. Vixen says Ika will play along, and we get another spade. It's a king and a freebie showdown. Once again, just a high card with the ace. And Vixen taking those chips. So we are about ready to go up to the next blind level, and then after that we will be in a break. Blinds will go up to 400, 800. Force blinds pre-flop, or sorry, pre-deal. Eight, 3, 5 comes out. 8 of hearts, 3 of diamonds, 5 of spades. Vixen has a pair of 8s. Millie will not limp in. Freakchild checking the option. 7, 10, 4. 10, 4, good buddy. 950 says Ika to go. Freakchild not going to have any part of that. down to 4 players at this final table of the horizon, with the Syndicate Poker Club playing free poker at PokerNow.club, a free-to-play poker site you too can play. Grab a table, grab some friends. You don't even have to have an account. We have to say that obligatory because that's what keeps our streams on the air. Vixen taking that one with a queen kicker again. Kicker's starting to become quite the issue. Or not the issue, but the solidifying part of these hands so far. 2,400 from Millie to go. Ika will play along. 9-5 king. 800 to go from Millie on this. Ika doubles it up. Millie will play along. 10 of hearts comes on the turn. Now we're going to see a free river card. It's a queen. This is interesting. And Millie catching the trips on the river. Ika with the pocket rockets did not hold. And the aces get cracked on the river. The wonderful river of tears, as we call it here with the Syndicate Poker Club. As a matter of fact, we're going to run that for a quick second, and I will be back in a moment, and we will call it down to the break. 2,200 from Vixen will be enough to get Ika out of there. Pocket kings from Vixen.
This one's for the grinders, the ghosts of bankrolls past, and everyone who's ever lost to a guy named Ricky, holding 6-9 offsuit on a prayer.
I had the nuts on the turn, felt like a king, counting my chips, hearing the angels sing. He called my shove like he couldn't care less, said let's see what happens, oh no this fucking ass. Board paired the river, my soul took a hit, he slow rolled me quads while eating Cool Ranch chips. Down by the river of tears, where dreams drown deep and love disappears. You stupid fuckers floating
that's a true story of online poker life, the river of tears. It always seems to come down to the river. That's when people say, oh, it's rigged. The whole game's rigged. He won on the river. Well, there was a chance. Anyway, the Syndicate Poker Club playing free poker at PokerNow.club. The Syndicate website, SyndicatePokerClub.com. Playing the Horizon, the final table. Your top 7 qualifiers qualifying for this Horizon table. 6 made it to the table tonight. We've lost 2 already. Forking Ace Hole and Jam Rock and Roll, both victims in the first part of the game. Well, not the first part of the game. You know what I mean. Before the break, I guess we'll say. 4 Ace 8 comes out on the flop. Checked by both players. A King of Hearts. Ika going 800 on that. Freakchild folding out. Freakchild on a short stack currently. As the blind's starting to get a little steeper and harder to manage. Especially with them coming around real quick. Freakchild once again in the big blind, not getting anybody to play with him. Seven deuce, Queen comes out. 7 deuce, worst hand in poker. Queen 7, the computer hand. Ika Kika able to take that one down without batting an eye. Vixen on the option checks it. Queen 9 ace. 800 to go from Ika. She says no thank you over there at Vixen's place. As the play is getting fast and furious now. 3 ladies, 1 gentleman. We could see a fourth lady win a title right here with the final table of the Horizon series tonight. Everybody checking around as we see a 7 of hearts for free. Vixen, Ika Kika going 800. Vixen going double up now to 1,600. 800 more to Kika, who will call. 8 of clubs for free on the river. Vixen taking 3 of a kind on the 7s. Lucky 7s. 777. Freakchild folding out. Ika Kika checking the option. Ace deuce 4. Deuce 4 diamonds. Ace of hearts. 1,000 to go, Vixen says. And Ika will fold out of there as we will get into our last hand before the break. Everybody playing along except for Freakchild. 9s on the board, paired up with a 7 of diamonds to go along with a 9 of diamonds and a 9 of clubs. 800 from Millie. Vixen will play it. 10 of diamonds to give us a diamond-heavy board. And a 3 of hearts comes out on the river. 1,600, Millie says. Millie flushing it out on the turn with the ace-high flush. So there you have it. We have the first hour of the Horizon final table down. And we will be back momentarily for the exciting finish because it looks like it's not going to be long. We'll be back in just a moment. Right here on the Syndicate on PokerNow on YouTube.
Well, that stupid Christmas album that the psychopaths at the Freakchild Experience came up with is about to drop. So let's get ready to whip up Freakchild's fucking hot chocolate first. Get yourself 3 cups of cow's udder juice, warming it gently in a pot. Now add 1 cup of overpriced white chocolate and let that expensive shit melt into the udder juice. It will create a velvety texture that dances in your mouth like a baby giraffe. For some idiotic reason, a splash of vanilla adds something. It makes no sense to have vanilla extract in chocolate, but perhaps it's just to make it feel like a warm hug on a cold day. Who knows? The world is a fucking contradiction of itself anyways. Next comes the test of your sanity. Swirl in some blue food coloring for that signature freak child touch. As you stir, watch as the vibrant color transforms the mixture into a drink that only the insane could think of. Serve it up in your favorite mug and grab the whipped cream from the bedroom and put some of that on top. If you're feeling as fruity as the freak child, you can sprinkle edible glitter for that extra pizzazz. Now don't forget, The Calamity of Christmas releases on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, just in time to annoy your family at Thanksgiving dinner.
From the ashes of the shift we rise, 1,000 dreams beneath new skies. The cards still fall, the chips still spin, but the future calls. We won't give in. No fear of night, no weight of past. This game was built to make it last. The Syndicate's horizon, it's the dawn we chase. Every trial has its place, through shadows long, through fire and stone. The path ahead becomes our road. Oh yeah, becomes our
And we are back with the Syndicate Poker Club, the Horizon final table, with 4 players remaining in tonight's final table game. The 4th final table of the fall season, coming down to a close here as we head back into the table from a break. Right now we got 3 ladies and 1 gentleman. And why does that matter? You might ask yourself. You probably would say, well, I don't give a shit. But it does matter, because fall season titles so far, Vixen, looking for a second title in this game for the fall season, took the Crucible last week. Monday night, Godly took champion of the Dominion Run. And earlier today, Molly Mary took down the Accord final table. So we could see a 4th female of the Syndicate Poker Club. The ladies of the Poker Club are not to be taken lightly. They're here to play. They're here to win. And Freakchild being left alone with Forking Ace-Hole and Jam Rock and Roll getting knocked out. By him, I do believe. Both of them. I'm not sure. Did he take both of them? I think he did take both of them. So it's his own damn fault. Pair of 10s on the board as we get into this first hand from the break. Now we've tripped up. 1,000 to go from both players. Millie getting the boat with the ace. The 8. Pairing up to give the full house. 10s full of 8s. Blinds are up at a staggering 500, 1,000. Once again, Freakchild in the big blind. Nobody playing with him. Freakchild going up 3,000. Ika doesn't want to play with that, with a 9 deuce. And Ika not wanting to play with Vixen on this one. Big blind hands apparently too scary for all the players at the moment. And we get to see a flop ace 8 of clubs, a 6 of spades. Checked by both players. Millie in the action with another 8 on the board to pair it up. And a free jack of spades on the river. Free showdown gives Ika the 8s with the ace, king, jack kicker. Freak Child finally seeing a flop in the big blind. Apparently did him no good with a 9 jack of spades and a 7. Ten king of hearts, 5 of diamonds. Ika and Millie going heads up on this one. Jack of clubs comes out. And we pair the board with some 5s. And we will have a chop suey chop pot. Get the chopsticks and the soy sauce. That's a chopper on the aces. Freak Child not getting any action on his raise with his pocket 8s, the snowman. All 3 ladies so far going to stick with this hand with a 2 6 of clubs, a 4 of spades. Everybody checks it down for a deuce of diamonds. Ika will go ahead and play this one along for 1,000. Vixen and Millie bowing out of that. Vixen on the button will call the big blind. Freak Child once again finally seeing some action on his big blind. 7 5 8 comes out. 5 8 of spades. Now we have a 7 deuce suited of diamonds. Everybody checking this one down with a pair of 5s on the board. And everybody checking it down. Pair of 7s. 2 pair of 7s and 5s for Freak Child. Four 6 of spades, 10 of diamonds comes. These flops are starting to get ridiculous again. 9 of hearts. And now an 8 of diamonds. 2,000 to go, says Ika on this gut buster draw. 4,000, says Vixen. 2 grand more to Ika, who will call it. And there is, once again, a splitter. More soy sauce to go. We're just going to have to get this by the buckets now. More chop suey chop pot. Ika limps in for the extra 5. Vixen checking the option. Jack king of diamonds, 5 of hearts. Vixen going for 2,000. Ika does not want to play along with them odds. Nobody wants to play with Millie's big blind. Ika and Millie will play this one with Freak Child with a king jack of spades, 8 of clubs. Millie with 1,000. Can't get any takers on that one. Freak Child going up 3,000. Vixen will call it. 5 queen jack clubs, 5 of hearts. Checked over to Vixen, who checks it back. 7 of clubs comes on the turn for free. 1,000 to go, says Vixen. Queen of spades. And 1,000 to go is not called. Ika will take another hand down there. And Millie getting no action on her big blind. Vixen and Millie playing along with this. 4 of spades, ace of diamonds, 9 of hearts. Freakchild betting the 3,000 on this. Millie will fall out of the way. A 10 of hearts comes out. Freakchild checks it. Vixen goes all in. And Freakchild folding out on that. And Freakchild going all in at 1350. Ace 3 versus King 4. Holds the lead momentarily at Ace 3 with a pair of threes. King comes to overtake the threes. And Freakchild will go out in 4th place. With Ika on King 4 on the big blind. Catching the king on the turn. So Freakchild going out in 4th, and that leaves us with the battle of the ladies. Vixen looking for a 2nd title in the fall here, 3rd title overall. Millie and Ika both looking for their 1st titles at this final table of the Syndicate Horizon. Millie will limp in for the extra 5. Ika checks the option. Queen, king of clubs. 6 of hearts. And that's a no-go there. King of spades, jack of diamond, or jack of something red. And 4 clubs. Now a 10 of clubs comes out. Ika, Millie, battling this one. Millie did not want to play that. Everything getting fast and furious here. 6 deuce of spades, queen of clubs. Checking it down for a queen to pair up the board at the river. And Ika Kika with the kicker situation with the king jack to overpower Millie's hand with the queens on the board. Deuce 5 of hearts, 10 of diamonds. Millie says worth 1,000. Vixen says okie dokie. And a king of hearts still worth 1,000 to both players. And a pair of aces on the turn for Vixen. Only a pair of 5s for Millie. Ika folding out. 2, 4, 5. 4, 5 of hearts. 2 of diamonds. No play. Eight, 4, ace. Ace of clubs, our high card on this board. 2 of spades comes out on the turn. 1,000 to go from Millie. Ika will go up 1,000 more. Millie calls it. 3 of a kind on the 8s on the river. Millie with 2 pair. Ika building up a little bit of a lead here over Millie now. Those chips have shifted back and forth a little bit. Pair of 3s on the board and an ace of hearts. Ika taking another one for 23, about 23 grand here, 23 and a half. To continue on as we see a flop king 10-6. Ika Kika coming out of St. Petersburg, Russia, has won 3 series games with the Syndicate Poker Club. Notable poker accolade, one first ever live tourney that she ever played. Syndicate overall 16th currently as the 2025 season is about to get wrapped up here. things will change as the players get their final point boards added up as these series finalize, and then even more points to come in December as the Syndicate brings you the Ascendancy 2025, the final 21 games in 21 days tournament in which all the players of the Syndicate will be playing and qualifying for. That comes up here in December, starting actually November 30th, but we just call it December because it's easier that way. Why? Because December has Christmas in it, and that's exciting for most people. Thanksgiving is next week. Most people are like, well, fuck. At least in the United States. Got a lot of hearts on this board. 9, 10, Queen, Deuce. And another Queen of Diamonds comes out. Pair up the board, but the heart's heavy hitting right there. Both players with a flush. 3 for Millie, but a jack. Just shy of a straight flush. Just shy of a royal flush. Ika nailing that one down. Millie known for her royal flushes. Pair of sixes on the board. Jack of hearts. $1,500 to go from Millie. Or sorry, Vixen. Pardon me. I don't know who's who. It's going on 4 a.m. here. What do you expect? Nobody wanting to play with Millie. Blinds are at 750, 1,500. So they're pretty steep now. Millie hailing out of Australia at 27 years old. Loves Hold'em, has won 2 series games with the Syndicate. Best season sit and go rankings over at PokerNow.club, the home of the Syndicate Poker Club. Finished 30th in her best season. Currently Syndicate overall 5th. Out of nearly 21 active players with the Syndicate Poker Club. In all parts of the world, all time zones. That's why there's different games at different times of day. 8 Jack of Hearts, 3 of Spades. King of Clubs comes out. And a freebie. It's a 2 of Spades. And a free showdown here as Ika will take that one down with just a pair of 8s. Blinds will go up again here in about 5 minutes, depending on how much action we have going on here. 9 Jack King comes out. It's rivered up. Blinds will be going up steeply to 1,000, 2,000. Pair of jacks on the board, almost a straight. There's a gut buster out there for sure. Vixen will fold out. Millie will take the pot down, putting her back up over the 10 grand mark. Eight, 9, and an ace. Now a 7. 2 diamonds on this board. Now we got 3 diamonds, and it's a 3 of diamonds. 1,500 from Millie. Ika will get out of the way. Seven deuce and a king of clubs. 3 of spades comes out. And Ika will take that one down with the Doyle in her hole cards there. 10 deuce. Made famous by Doyle Brunson, who won a World Series of Poker with that hand. King, queen of hearts, 8 of clubs. Millie cannot get any action on that. Can't blame Ika for not wanting to play that garbage. 9 deuce. Offsuit. Blech. Get a barf emoji for that. Get a barf emoji for this flop. 10-3-5. Rainbowed. Flops are not being very cooperative with the ladies at this point in the game. Everybody looking once again for that little bit of an angle on a good hand. 3-5-7. The flops are not doing it at all. 9 of diamonds comes out on this turn. Deuce again on the river. Ika says is good enough for her. But she's not going to explain herself. And so the secret lives on in the annals of the Syndicate history. The Syndicate Poker Club, full of poker lore. Stories that we've all made up. Syndicate Poker Club, playing for free, but playing for real. And having a hell of a lot of fun doing it. 6 in Ika's hand will finish out that gutbuster draw on the board. As Ika now has the commanding lead. Pretty much triple up both the other ladies, Vixen and Millie. Millie making a move. Did not pan out to get any more chips out of Vixen. Pair of aces on the board. We got an ace, queen of hearts, ace of spades. 7 of diamonds comes out. Finally a decent flop. But perhaps not the cards in the hole to go with it. Another ace on the flop here with a 5 and 6 and now a 7. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pair of 7s on the board to river it out. 3,000, says Ika. Vixen says, no thanks, that's almost all my chips. King of hearts, 9 of diamonds, 10 of clubs. Ika will play along. Another diamond comes. 15 from Vixen, called by Ika. 1775 all in. Ika Kika getting the straight. Almost Broadway. Just a pair for Vixen. Vixen will head out in third place, leaving Ika Kika heads up with Millie, both looking for their first title with the Syndicate. So that will, of course, we already knew this, but as we pointed out earlier, as we get through this hand, as we pointed out earlier, currently so far, this is where we are sitting. Let me get Poker Cat up there. Whoop, not with that. Get Poker Cat's thing out of there. With Vixen and Godly and Molly Mary all taking the first titles here so far with Crucible, Dominion Run, and the Accord. And it looks like it's going to be a ladies' tournament or season, with the ladies all taking the titles so far. Actually, the ladies taking almost all the titles. I think Forking Acel is the only... Forking Acel is the only guy who's actually taken a title in the Syndicate Poker Club. I'll have to look back at those stats. But Vixen, who just went out, just got her second title with the Crucible. And with that, Ika Kika gets a title. I wasn't even paying attention. It went that fast. Ika Kika is our champion of the Syndicate's Horizon series, going heads up against Millie, who will take a very gracious second, and Vixen closing out third place in this one, as the men do not survive. Freakchild, Freakchild, Forking Acel, and Jam Rock and Roll not making it, and that, once again, because PokerNow does not want to stay connected for whatever stupid reason. and doesn't want to even scroll, so we'll just have to leave it as is. Ika Kika taking first, Million second, Vixen in third, Freak Child went out fourth, Jam Rock and Roll went out in fifth, Fort King Ace Hole went out in sixth. Biggie Large was also qualified for this game but did not make the table, so we will qualify him as seventh for the Horizons final table right here. All finished up. The Horizon is now all done. And we will see you guys on our next broadcast coming up on tomorrow or later tonight. Excuse me. I'm sorry. We didn't tell everybody. Chase is coming up tonight at 10 o'clock Mountain Time, midnight Eastern. Where's Chase? Game number 10. Somebody catch that dweeb, right? With that, make sure you all check out the Syndicate Poker Club at syndicatepokerclub.com. Playing free live poker at pokernow.club. Till then, we'll see you then.